Welcome to the Coach Toolbox. I'm your host, Dr. Ajay Nangalia, a leadership coach and counselor. This channel supports your professional and personal development as a leader with research-based and practice-focused learning. And we bring you the best career and life advice from guests who've been there and done that successfully. And now, our session today. Welcome to the last conversation we are having in this series on reigniting and strengthening the relationship between couples or partners. I trust you've had the chance to listen to both part 1 and 2 because we are building up on those conversations. So please do listen to them if you haven't already. Now, in our previous 2 episodes, we've spoken about establishing or re-establishing the foundation for a good relationship between the two of you, and we've looked at ways to have some meaningful conversations. Today, let's talk about talking about difficult issues for couples and partners. In every relationship, there will be challenges and situations and issues that are turbulent or steeped in conflict or misunderstanding or good old jealousy and insecurity or perhaps some family politics and so on. Therefore, it's wise to have an idea on how to navigate these stressful times and situations. Now, our goal is not to have a perfect solution or to establish a process that must be followed irrespective of what's happening, because by definition, during difficult times, established patterns are shaken. However, if you've both done some talking and thinking around how you two will deal with this, then it'll be so much easier to support the other or even recover if one has blown it completely. So let's start by figuring out what these issues are. And as in part 1 and part 2, remember to listen together and hit the pause button at the end of each point so that you can talk it through. Let's start. The first thing you need to talk about is how you will sort out things when you disagree. So when you both disagree, how will you sort these things out? Not agreeing is a certainty, and it can range from a small thing such as where to eat out or what to do over the weekend till all the way to complex issues such as career or relocation and what to do with the parents or in-laws. So when such situations arise, what will work for you both? Now you know each other and each other's triggers and some of the things that the other holds sacred. So how will you balance between acceptance and navigating the situation so that it looks after each partner's interests? And if there is a stalemate, what will help you become more accepting of the other through this phase in life? So when we hit the pause button, talk about these things. So this is not the time to bring out old issues and rehash them, but to really focus on the way forward. And if there are some old hurts and pains, then talk about them in a separate conversation, preferably with the support of your counselor. So go ahead and hit the pause button now. The next important thing to talk about is how you will let the partner know when something has upset him or her. This is point number 2. Most times, one partner expects the other to know instinctively, and at times this may not happen, causing even more frustration to both partners. So it's more useful to talk about how you'd like your partner to let you know that something is upsetting her or him. Of course, besides banging all the pots and throwing out all the plates. Now, when you hit the pause button, let your partner know what you will do if you're upset and how you will let him or her know. And if your partner senses that you're upset about something, what's the best way to support you through it? Perhaps to just give you some time and space to figure things out. So hit the pause button now and talk about ways to manage the upset in the relationship. Pause now. Linked to this second point is the topic of apology. That's point number 3. Sometimes we believe that because we love our partner or our partner knows our heart and intention, there is no need to apologize. This is a mistaken notion. Partners are human, and so when appropriate, we must apologize. And apologize with openness and genuineness, not as a formality or grudgingly. We've spoken about being lavish with gratitude and appreciation for your partner, so when one of you has messed up, then it's best that you apologize quickly and authentically. Don't make the apology about ego or power differential. Your intention is to keep the relationship secure and well-grounded. Now, the benefit is that once you talk about what works for you, then it'll be so much harder for you to sulk or be hostile, especially when the partner has apologized in a way that you've spoken about. And even if you're really angry and the apology is not cooling you off immediately, it'll take shorter time for you to recover because you know your partner is apologizing in the way you wanted him or her to. So when you hit the pause button now, talk about how you'd like your partner to apologize when he or she has caused some upset. So pause now. And our final issue is emotionally difficult and complex, especially in Asian cultures. And this issue, point number 4, is how will you manage the boundaries between your relationship as a couple and the parents or the in-laws, or both parents and in-laws? How do you want your partner to support you with respect to your parents? And what are you willing to do for his or her parents? And what would be difficult? At least in Indian culture, parents and in-laws are integral to the life of a couple because our culture and upbringing makes it very difficult to create a separation between parent and child, irrespective of the fact that the child himself or herself is now in middle-aged. Most Indian parents or in-laws expect to be part of the married life of their children and to have a strong influence, if not a strong say, in the life of the couple and their children. While often this extended family can be a strong source of support and joy, there are many times when it becomes a thorn in the flesh, at least for one of the partners, or it can be a burden for one partner. Especially if one partner has to be a primary caretaker, not only financially, but physically and emotionally. So it's best to talk about how you'll manage the relationship and the boundary between the elders and both of you. What will you allow the elders to do and not do? How will you maintain a boundary and deal with the boundary issues when they are crossed? What about long-term elder care? Now, there are no easy answers, nor are these things easy to talk about. But even if the answers are complex and unclear, just talking about these things will be helpful and each partner will feel better understood and resourced. So when you hit the pause button now, talk about the elders in your life and how you will manage the boundaries. So pause now. Let's bring our conversation to a close for today. We've spoken about having a conversation about difficult issues, and the issues that usually become flashpoints in the life and relationship between a couple or partners are: number 1, having some clarity or perhaps a process of dealing with disagreement. Number 2 is linked, that is, how you will let your partner know that something has upset you. And then, of course, number 3 is talking about what works for you both in terms of apology. And finally, the complex issue of boundary management between you both and the elders from both sides, and of course, elder care. These are deep conversations, so be patient with each other, be kind and gracious with yourself and with each other, and just take it one step at a time. Focus on the areas where there is clarity and ease, and for some issues that don't seem to have an acceptable way out, just be willing to wait on those issues for a bit longer. You might also find it helpful to talk about some of these difficult things with your counselor. So our conversation today brings our 3-part series on igniting or reigniting the relationship between a couple of partners to a close. I trust it has been helpful for you, and if it has, then please do let me know. My email is given in the description box below. And do share the episode links with your friends and family, and be sure to hit the subscribe button on my channel. And finally, if you feel that it would be easier for you to have such a conversation with a counselor or coach, then feel free to connect with me and we can explore how to take it forward. Good luck. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Please connect with us on coachtoolbox@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, and review this channel. Details of our ICF-approved coach training programs and our services as executive coaches and coaching supervisors are on www.globalcoachtrust.org. See you in our next session.